If it ain't know me, it's familiar. Dripping with sauce and I be ready to call. Take a win out of lump and get it when I swerve. Rockin' the spot, you will never occur. Do this for swerve, rock me out with your own. Wanna get no girl, so that man, I forget her. For this, I'm still in real estate, tip this, I'm constantly if I watch me, I'm no gas, if I gotta get loud and I'm standing on business. I ain't had to swim, I ain't planning on switching. I can't be a judge when they throw me a punch. I ain't holding no grace, say that man, I forget it. Stacking them bands up a lip. Up in the sky, I'm so free, so we smiling. You niggas ain't smoking no deals, we got in the mix. So free out of the league, better go off the switch. Pull out the city and shut down the fish. I ain't no baby, but I do this for sure. I can't see my pocket, no judgment. This is not to say everything, I can let you do the word. Excited for rockin' like any of the word. Not always pretty, but it got it with me. I ain't saying shit, ladies, I'm doing the bird. Shout out to Roro and Peter. I can feel niggas can't rock it like this in the word. We start to be shining, the blinding with guns and saying shit, ladies, I'm doing the bird. Ain't got to pop with the work and it be red. Not always pretty, but it can be easy. I ain't from the city, but I'm still a leader. Shout out to Roro and Peter. I thought we went out here in the mills on the island. Shooting my sticks, walk through the windows. Making shots, I told her ain't about it, okay? Ain't got a bar, but they say bros grinding a lot of potential and the detrimental. Go pray to the Lord, take a moment of silence. In the library, in the home, be wildin'. When I get hungry, they order me French. Got me some fries, a little baby was fine.
Let's go, fam.
Me, okay?
Let's go. One second. Hello? Hello? This is Calling Crypto Show. It's your host, Mountain Dew. I swear, fam, that was...
Let's go, fam.
I was counting.
Let's go.
One second. Hello? 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 I'm sorry, fam. Sorry to complain. I know.
Calling Crypto Show.
Yeah, but
your host,
this is...
I swear, fam, that was...
This is what it is. You know, like, we try our best. You know, we're out here. We're grinding like the rest of you, fam. And, you know, if we have to listen to one more message of the track.
Fam. But this is... This is what it is, you know, like we try our best, you know, we're out here.
Welcome everyone. If you're just joining us, this is the Call In,
you know, if we have to listen to one more
I did have an intro, like
oh my gosh,
ditty,
oh my gosh,
song. But I threw it away, man. I threw it away.
Welcome everyone. If you're just joining us, this is the Call In Crypto.
We are Digibeat.
I did have an intro,
like as well. The music that you
ditty, you know,
just listen to.
But I threw it away, fam. I threw it away.
Check them out. Nessa Derillo.
Something a little.
We had Callie.
We are
Digibeat trying to get paid.
Well. The music that you have.
I love Louis.
Just listen to.
It's like my favorite. I don't know why, fam. It just is.
Space. Definitely check them out.
Make sure you guys are retweeting this space as well. And also, I would absolutely love for one of you to check out the live stream.
It's like my favorite.
That's right. I don't know why. We're live streaming on X and on YouTube.
Make sure you guys are retweeting this.
You don't have to check them both.
Well.
Actually,
and also,
because I'm not sure about the volume. I've always had it where it's like
you to check
I'm hearing
out
myself
the
double. So
that's right, fam. We are live streaming on X and on YouTube currently. So you don't have to check them both. Actually, it'd be great.
Anyway, this is the Calling Crypto Show, fam. If you're just joining us,
I'm hearing myself double.
This is a show where we play you voice recordings from people that have crypto problems.
Anyway,
embarrassing, shocking, or just unrelentingly.
This is a show.
I don't know, they're just curious, you know, and they've never had this question answered before. Maybe they've had their AI agent ask it before, but they didn't like that answer, right? They
embarrassing or shocking.
Right? So today we have, you know, 2.5 experts.
I don't know, they're just curious, you know, they've never had this question answered before.
No, we got these two beautiful hosts over here. Big shout out to
they
Joe
needed a human
Shane
response,
and
right?
Welcome,
so today we have, you know,
Sam answer all of these tough crypto.
I call myself a half expert. No, we got these two beautiful hosts over here. Big shout out to Joe on Shane and Kimber. Welcome.
How's it
host.
Going,
they will
guys?
be helping
TGIF.
me. Sam answer all of these tough crypto problems. Anyway, welcome to the How's it going? How's it going, guys? TGIF. How's life?
Appreciate you, dude, for getting all this together.
Wow, that looked like Kimber had her mic unmuted there, but what's good, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well. What's up, Kimber? What's up, dude? What's up, Suave? I see up here, an incredibly knowledgeable individual. Appreciate you, dude, for getting all this together, man, for grabbing the different voice recordings. I think this is a really fun concept, and once we nail down the format that we like, how we want to go about it, I think this will really take off, especially during the bull run. So if you guys are here, make sure you guys are max engaging. We'll eventually, just keep growing these spaces. We'll get some giveaways, all that good stuff. But if you're here early. So we really appreciate you. If you wouldn't mind max engaging, as we all, we all already know. And we'll just keep growing this week by week. So thanks again, Duke, Kimber, Suave. I see you up here. If anybody else wants to jump up here, feel free to go and request. We'd be happy to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on how to tackle some of these questions that we have. Or if you guys have any questions yourself, come on up and ask them. So appreciate you all again and looking forward to a great space.
Thank you so much. Kimber, GM.
Appreciate you, Joe.
How are you today?
I haven't heard you in the last few days. Feels like forever, but it's good that you're here and back and with us and safe and sound. So thank you so much. Kimber, GM, TGIF, how are you today?
Good morning. I am great. Just a little pre-warning, if you hear any screams coming from my background, it's the first 24 hours of the new season of Fortnite. So my child is a little feral. Nobody's being murdered.
Awesome. Yes.
But it is fabulous to be here, and I can't wait to answer all these amazing questions.
We'll introduce them real quick, see how it's going. We got Sav in the house, right? Is that how you say it, Sav? Save? What's going on?
Yes.
Hey, how's it going, fam?
Same. We got a few speakers up here as well. We'll introduce them real quick.
Awesome. I'm loving the support.
It's going. We got Sav in the house,
this
right?
is great, guys. Continual support.
Hey, how's it going, fam?
I'm going very well. About yourself?
Paluma in the house.
GM and just support.
Fam. How's it going, Paluma?
Awesome. I'm loving the support. Oh man, this is great, guys. Continual support. Keep tagging. And
he's up on me.
Well,
He's
fam. We got Paluma in the house. GM fam. How's it going, Paluma?
Paluma, answer. It's calling Crypto Show. Paluma.
I don't think they're up on stage. I think we gotta add them up here.
Damn it, Paluma.
Wait,
he's up breaking on me. My heart. We got another speaker.
Twitter's doing Twitter things. It's gonna be one of those days.
How's it going, fam? Maybe he's here.
Paluma. Answer. It's calling Crypto Show. Paluma. Damn it, Paluma. You are breaking my heart. We got another speaker, bananapeppers.base.eve. How's it going, fam? Maybe he's here.
Hey, man. GM, how are you? Shout out to Joe. What's up?
What's good, brother? Appreciate you for jumping up here. Yo, if you guys do jump up here, all that we ask is that you, of course, engage with the space. And if you could follow the host and the other speakers up here to show everybody some love. And follow everybody in this room. These people grinding, looking to further themselves, either help answer a question or get something answered. So these are definitely people you want to surround yourself with. But good looks for jumping up, Banana Pepper. This is the Call-In Crypto Show. So you have a whole bunch of recorded tracks or tapes that people have sent due or the Crypto Fam Radio main account over last week, and so we're going to be reading through or listening through some of those, sort of like an old school radio show that we got going on, bringing to Web3, and we're going to have, of course, some live people if they want to jump up here as well, man. So if you want to chill up here and help us answer some questions people had and that they asked about, or if you want to ask any questions yourself, bro, no stress either way. Just feel free to chilling up here. And for anybody else, guys, no question is too stupid or anything like that. We've heard it all. We've all been there. We've all been rookies, and we're all still learning at the end of the day. So feel free to, you could drop some comments, shoot some DMs, or jump on up here yourself. We'll be happy to hear from you guys. But thanks again, Banana, for jumping up here, bro.
The live space. I keep getting some feedback. I don't know what's going on.
Let's run it, dude. Let's go, baby. What's up? What are we doing?
The live stream is working right. Anyway, fam, I've got quite a few recordings here of different questions that people have had. So before we get started,
figure that out later,
welcome
fam. Gotta
everyone
make sure that
Appreciate
the live stream is working right.
Anyway,
fam,
I've got in the space as well. And then before I forget, fam, we have that live space schedule. If you haven't rated it yet, I'd really appreciate if you could rate it. I know it's kind of the end of the week. This is, I think this is our final show. Yeah, I didn't have a Saturday space
as well. And then
tomorrow.
before I forget,
usually
fam,
do, but I was
we
like,
have that
you know,
live
since
space
I had a
schedule,
show
and if you
Monday,
haven't rated
gotta
it
take
yet,
a breather
I'd really
every
appreciate
once
if
in a
you
while,
could rate it.
fam.
I know it's kind of the end
But
of the
anyway,
week.
yeah, we'll
This
get to
is-
these
I think this is our
questions.
final
Appreciate
show. Yeah, I didn't
everyone
have a Saturday
showing up,
space
supporting
tomorrow.
Crypto.
Usually
Let's go.
do, but I was like, you know, since I had a show Monday, gotta take a breather every once in a while, fam. But anyway, yeah, we'll get to these questions. Appreciate everyone
All right.
for showing up.
Did you hear that,
supporting
fam?
crypto.
Well, let me hear this. No, we didn't do it.
What is cryptocurrency and how does it work?
All right. Did you hear that, fam?
What is cryptocurrency?
Let me play that one more time.
How does it
One
work,
more
fam?
time. All right. No, we didn't do it right.
Joe, Kimber. Actually, I
What
feel
is
like Kimber, you need to
cryptocurrency
take
and
this
how
one,
does it
Kimber. I
work?
feel like this is a you question. I'll give it to you.
What is cryptocurrency?
What is
How does it work, Joe, Kimber. Actually, I feel like Kimber. You need to take this one, Kimber. I feel like this is a you question. I'll give it to you first, Kimber.
What is cryptocurrency? Well, it is a digital form of money or virtual, depending on which word you like better, I guess. I would say it's anonymous. It's your transactions are anonymous. I don't think that I'm the best at saying this. I just like to always say that it's my money that no one else can see. But it is not monopoly money. Let's not make this, a thing, because a lot of people like to be like, oh, so you like to play with monopoly money. And I'm like, no, it's my real hard-earned money.
Yeah, I guess just to sort of add to that, I think cryptocurrency is just an umbrella term we give to these new digital assets that use blockchain technology to sort of exchange data or information around. But I guess if I got even simpler, it's just a peer-to-peer switching of information, or like a publicly verifiable information platform. Banana, go ahead, Banana Pepper with a thumbs down. All right, let's hear it, Einstein.
Man, you didn't have to be so, rub it in our faces and define everything digital asset. It's digital money. Like, come on, just forget it, man. It's that simple.
I mean, if you asked 2 years ago, and you said it was digital money, you're getting sued and you're getting taken to court. So that's not what I would have said at all in any way, shape, or form a few years ago. Just ask XRP. But I definitely like that for a normie take, for sure.
How I would explain to someone that is new to crypto.
That's
really asked me like zero.
I always
about crypto.
like the whole,
what is crypto,
digital
and how do I
currency, right?
use
Because
it?
that's
What is
basically
it? And I'm like,
what
dude,
it is.
it's
Like,
like,
this is
it's
how
like
I would
paper stuff.
explain to
It's almost
someone
real,
that is new
but it's
to
like
crypto.
digital. And
They
you
were
think about
really
cameras,
asked me,
right?
like,
I'm the
they
same analogy.
zero
Right? So we had film
anything
cameras.
about crypto. It was like,
That was real, right?
what is
Tangible
crypto?
stuff. You
And
get film, you
how
get
do I use
prints.
it? Like, well,
And then
what
we
is
got
it?
digital
And I'm like,
cameras, right?
dude,
So
it's
we
like,
got the
okay,
next
it's like this paper
level.
stuff.
All these
It's almost
images
real,
now
but it's
are
like
on
digital.
digital
And you think about
spheres
cameras, right?
online
This is
on
an
the
analogy,
internet,
right? So we had
So
film cameras.
with crypto, it's
real,
the
right?
same thing,
Tangible
right?
stuff.
It's
You get
a
film, you
paper
get
that's
prints,
turned
and then we got
digital.
digital
It
cameras,
still
right?
holds its
So we got
value,
the
whatever
next
value you
level.
put on,
All
whatever
these images
Bitcoin's
now
worth
are on
today,
these
whatever.
digital
That's
spheres
what the Bitcoin you
online on the
currently have.
internet,
That's the
right?
value,
So
right? But
with
I think
crypto, it's
comes
the same
from
thing,
that
right?
paper
It's
to
a
digital
paper
sphere.
that's
And we're going to get
digital.
more of that,
It still holds
as
its
the years have
value,
gone by,
whatever
as
value
technology has advanced, right, over the last 10, 20, 30 years.
on,
A lot of
Bitcoin's
what
worth
we
today, whatever,
once was
what the
tangible
Bitcoin you
is
currently
now
have. That's
more
the value, right?
digital,
But
more
I think
online,
it just comes
right? So,
from that paper to digital
I think,
sphere.
it's
And
an
we're going to get
interesting
more
question.
of that,
It's an interesting
as
Joe,
the years
what's
have
up?
gone by, as technology has advanced, right, over the last 10, 20, 30 years. A lot of what we once was tangible is now more digital, more online, right? So I think, it's an interesting question. It's an interesting question. Joe, what's up?
I think my issue comes with it's, at the end of the day, like information as well. Like the blockchain is about to eat up all of the internet. and all of finances are about to be put on chain. So, it's more than just currency at the end of the day. But I did see Swab unmute themselves a few times. And I'd be really curious if he had any takes on the matter. I always appreciate his opinion.
I feel like everybody is in the ballpark. I got the same take. It's a form of digital currency. It's a new form of digital currency. It's more.
Exactly, fam. Exactly. So, all right. I feel like we
How can I try to put this in Langston terms? Because I don't want to be
so we're gonna
complex like everybody say.
Keep rolling. That's cool with everyone, right, Sabe?
That's it. It's just a form of digital currency.
All right, we're just gonna
Exactly, fam. Exactly.
All right, cool.
So,
Awesome.
all right, I feel like we definitely hit this question on the head pretty hard. So we're gonna
hello.
keep rolling,
Your,
fam.
your
Keep
crypto
rolling.
problem.
If that's cool with everyone, right, Sabe? You're cool with that? Okay.
How do I?
Okay.
All
All
right,
right.
just
So, all right,
mute
if you guys
that
heard
mic.
that.
All right, cool.
Very nice.
Coins
and currency.
Hello. What's your
Man,
crypto
I
problem?
feel like this is a hard
Coins
question.
or
I
tokens
feel
should I
like
invest in?
we get this
What are the
question a
top
lot, fam.
cryptocurrencies right now?
We get
How
this
do I-
question a lot.
Okay. All right.
Because a lot of
so,
people they don't
you
know,
guys heard
right?
that?
And they don't want to do their own
Oh,
research. Like, hey, what do I invest in? Like,
Coins
there's
and
all these different meme
currencies,
coins,
crypto.
all these different.
Man, I
cryptocurrencies,
feel like
all these
this
different
question. I
blockchains.
feel like we get this question a
that's
lot.
That's a really hard
We get this
question.
question
That's
a
a really
lot.
hard question. I'm gonna go
Because a lot
over
of people
to
they
Sabe. He's got his
don't
hand
know,
up.
right? And they don't want to do their own research. Like, hey, what do I invest in? Like, there's all these different meme coins, all these different cryptocurrencies, all these different blockchains. That's a really hard question, Dan. That's a really hard question. I'm gonna go over to Sabe. He's got his hand up.
Yes. I believe Bitcoin is number one. I believe Ethereum will be number two. And I believe anything in the top 5 altcoins should be number 3.
That's a valid answer.
I say
like
that
answer.
to compare them.
Joe,
Ethereum will be silver, and the top 5 altcoins will be the rest of the precious metals.
All right, that's a valid answer. I like that answer. I can't. Joe, Kimber, you guys want to add to that?
Personally, I think that there's 8 billion whatever people on the planet, and so there's 8 billion different financial situations and how people want to play the market and goals and things like that. So I would first start out with whatever someone's goals are and what they're trying to do, and then based on that, sort of how I might invest. And sort of how involved you want to be. Do you really care that much about crypto? You're gonna watch, all the charts. Are you gonna jump on all these spaces, try and get micro caps, or are you just trying to like buy and hodl and live your life and not give a fuck about all of this stuff that probably most of it doesn't matter at the end of the day? So it's like, if you care a lot and you're gonna get fully involved, and I'm cool with a certain percent Bitcoin and then have fun, maybe dabble in the others, the micro caps. But if you don't care enough to look and check around every day, then I'd stick to the top 100 really Bitcoin
awesome. I see
and
Brian's got
maybe
his hand
top
up. What's up,
20
Brian? GM.
as well. There's going to be ETFs, I'd imagine, in the future, just like buckets of these different things, make it easier for people. So those are my thoughts.
Nice day, Kimber.
I think Joe really hit it. Yeah.
All right, awesome. I see Brian's got his hand up. What's up, Brian? GM.
Hey, GM, everybody. What's up, Kimber, Joe? How you guys doing? This is a great question, man. I was actually having this conversation this morning as we're looking for plays, coins to get into, to invest in, and I'm getting a lot of this talk from my IRL, my personal connections, friends, family, work, coworkers, things like that. And what I always tell them is you just need to follow the money. Where is the billions of dollars rushing in right now? And it is coming in on Ethereum and Bitcoin. So you first got to look at it as how stable do you want to be? What kind of gains are you looking for? What is your timeline? Are you looking to spot trade, invest long term? Are you looking to long short, get into leverage? You got to have an idea of what you want to accomplish. But then I look into protocols that are are in the top 50 that are starting to see partnerships, institutional adoption, right? So you look at things like the AVAX network, they're bringing in the California DMV. Other states are coming on to the blockchain. RWA assets, Web2 money coming into networks like Ondo, like Aptos, things like that. And that's where I look and I find my upside. And then you got the retirement funds, guys, that are about to come in, $10 to $12 trillion. And they're going to allocate a certain percentage of their portfolios towards the trusted assets with these ETFs. So that includes Ethereum, Bitcoin, soon to be XRP. I'm sure Solana will be on that list. So when I look at opportunity, that's where I want to put my positions. And then I want to take a chance on some of the micro plays that are out there solving problems, higher risk, but much higher reward, and place some of my action on there and gamble a little bit. Just based on my information. But that's usually how I've been going about it. I started off as a Bitcoin guy. I will always be a Bitcoin first guy. But
yeah,
to say
Brian,
there's not
that's a
massive
great
amounts of
take.
opportunity on the
Great
side of
answer as
Bitcoin,
well. I really
I think it's
appreciate
crazy.
the
It's what bothers me
response.
the most about the Bitcoin maxis is many of them just simply ignore everything
And
else in the
I did
space
see
when there's
Paluma with
potential
his
for
hand up
just massive
briefly. I
amounts
don't
of
know if you
gains.
wanted to chime in there.
Yeah,
Paluma,
Brian.
can
Yeah,
you
no,
hear us?
that's a great
GM?
take. Great answer as well. I really appreciate the response. Yeah, Bitcoin's definitely going to be number
Yep,
one,
we hear
sure.
you loud and clear.
And I did see Paluma with his hand up briefly. I don't know if you wanted to chime in there. Paluma, can you hear us? GM?
Yeah, GM. Thanks for the mic. Please, can you hear me clearly?
Yep, we hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, just popped on the show right now, and just so grateful for giving the mic. But one case I'm just too surprised at is okay, everyone in Web3 I keep saying, okay, what token do I invest in? What token do I invest in? What token do I invest in? Please, am I audible?
Yeah, we got you.
Thank you. Okay, so what token do I invest in? But one big issue is okay, should I say the only people that can actually come into Web3 and let's say that can say they got their ass backed up, like maybe in next 5 years they are still okay or something, are the big whales. A new person can't just come right now and just say, okay, what token can I invest in next 5 years and I get so bounty? Just okay, let's say a Web2 guy that said, okay, I just wanted to invest and just leave it. So if you don't have the patience, you have to you injure yourself. So what my point is, I've said the top 3 best token right now is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and top 5 or 10, altcoins. Now, I really observed a lot of projects have been coming into this space, and before a dim of an eye, they break down. So I've been, and these tokens, they have the tokens itself, the token project itself, they have their own products, which the product has its own best utility. But one funny fact is those token words, they all. Let's now say a Web2 guy now said, okay, I want to invest in a token. Okay, let me say if a Web2 web meets me and asks me that, okay, Pelumi, what token can I invest in? I will actually give him a unique token because, okay, a unique token, I might say, okay, Bitcoin is more than you, though we know where Bitcoin is still going. Ethereum is more than you, though Ethereum is not that more than anyone because it's still at low cap that we can say we can grab it right now. But okay, if I said Caldera or Caldera, I can say Proof, which is from Susan Lab, they have their own utility, and Ethereum itself has its own utility, and most of all these big projects, we know that their utility is what always made those tokens go far. So that is what I actually know. Let's say like XRP and Polkadot or something like that. Yeah, XRP is also one top token. So to my own understanding, if I now introduce the Web2 guide to the token right now, okay, take this token and hold it. Immediately the let me say within a year, okay, the guy just bought the token right now. Before, let me say, before next year February, he will be very discouraged by checking the wallet, by checking the token that he bought. Like, I don't know if you are getting me, but by checking the token, it will just be like, I just bought this token, but it should be appreciating. Instead of appreciating 70%, it has really degraded. In which the token is what? Is a utility project. So I kept wondering what will be the future of this space if tokens like that are always doing that. Though I now went to search something. I went to check XRP. I went to check like how many tokens that. Sorry, please, can I'll round up right now.
Yeah, go ahead and wrap up. I think you made a couple of good points in there, but yeah, go ahead and wrap up with the question or comment. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thank you. So I checked XRP and I check what is it called? I check the future of XRP, and it was one token like this actually. So what's my point there is that after checking it, I now really understand that XRP also went so bad back then, right now. But you now know what? Most of these people, the patience enough is not there, because the simple way they already understand how tokens work right now. Okay, a project we launch its projects, have VCs, and at the end of the day, the VCs will jit out, and you want me to just invest for a long time. So what's actually the future of this space aside Ethereum, Solana, BNB, BTC, and some other, let me say, Tier and Proof, or some other good token a little bit? So what's their future? Thank you.
I think you made a couple of good points in there for sure. Thank you, Pulumi. I want to see if Suave wanted to jump in on that.
Yes. So I'm trying to be.
Yeah, why don't you put that together?
I'm trying to be very simple and in Langston terms when it comes to crypto, because I do not know people education levels when it comes to crypto. If someone don't have a central exchange crypto account, I'm not going to tell them to invest in any kind of meme coin. That's ridiculous. I wouldn't even expect them to know what a blockchain crypto functionality is. I wouldn't expect them to know even how to transfer or swap cryptocurrency from one side to another. I'm giving people the benefit of a doubt to even know what Bitcoin is. We're less than 3% of global adoption on crypto, period. And that's just people using Bitcoin. So just imagine we're 0.001% of people using Solana. That's ridiculous. I don't expect anybody to know anything about crypto when it comes to investing. You're a newbie. You know nothing. You are in kindergarten when it comes to crypto. So one of the first things that someone have to do is sign up for a central exchange account and just learn what Bitcoin is. That's long term, because you have to feel comfortable knowing that your money will go up and down. Your people aren't going to feel comfortable waking up the next day to 40% of their investment gone in a day. That's ridiculous. So I believe people need to watch their money fall 3%, 4%, and be comfortable, and then have a 7% month, a 4% month, a 10% month, and then maybe have a 8% negative month. That's people. You have to feed on people's psychology when it comes to investing. I'm okay losing. Other people aren't okay losing. So when you start following people telling you to invest in something that is very volatile, that's that's ridiculous. And I would never try to lead anybody to slaughter. That's the reason why I said to focus on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the top 5 altcoins. Now, you can focus on the top 10. I believe even the top 20 is great. Actually, I believe the top 25 is great. They all have different things. It's just everybody isn't on the Solana, Ethereum, BNB, XRP, Tronix type scale. You know, they all trade at different volatility rate. Tron is a thick liquidity blockchain. It don't move as much as like Solana is. Solana will drop 20% in a month. Tronix will drop 3% in a month. So what is each blockchain functionality? What are you going into? For anybody that's in the web too, I believe you should start sticking to Chainlink. Chainlink has most of the real world assets upon it, especially in logistics. Chainlink is for logistics protocols. It's for you how can we swap in our internetworking and have this interoperability that everybody is talking about. Chainlink will be the foundation. But people don't know that because that's real world assets haven't kicked off for Chainlink to become visible. So we're in a stepping stone in crypto, and certain things have to be built first before people can say hip hip hooray, because someone can rival Chainlink. We don't know. You know, Sui is just as fast as Solana. We don't know if Sui would take over Solana just because it's very fast in network. You know, it has to be a reason why Sui would be just as volume based as Solana. Trading volume Solana is 40% of all meme coins. There should be no reason why you should be trading on anything other than Solana. It's just metric based markets. So you go where the people are, not where hope is. That's all.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sabe, for that thorough response and very concise. So thank you so much. I think we hit that question, fam, pretty hard. So we're going to keep rolling. If you guys are just joining us, this is the Calling Crypto Show. Make sure you're retweeting the space, tagging a few more friends. We answer all of your crypto problems, or we try to anyway, right, fam? And we have some pre-recorded questions we're going through. We also do questions live. So if you're in the audience, listeners lodge down there, and you have a question, you can hit that mic, request it. We'll bring you up, put your hand up, and we'll get to your question as well. So anyway, we'll keep rolling. Here's the next question, fam. Hello. It's Calling Crypto Show. How can I help you?
How do I buy, sell, or store crypto securely?
All right. This is an easy one, fam. This is an easy one. My crypto. This is a really common question. I believe they're called wallets, if I'm not mistaken. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like, I'm pretty solid in this response. And then a follow-up question might be, what wallet then, fam? Which wallet? There's so many wallets. There are a lot of wallets, and that actually might be a great follow-up question for people. What wallet is the best wallet for your needs, right? Your own personal needs, because everyone's needs are different, right? Depending on which network you like to play on would be dependent on the wallet you choose, right? So most people that like Solana, they have a Phantom wallet, right? Let's say if you're on Crow, you've got the Crypto.com app, right? Or the on-chain wallet. If you're on Sui, you've got the Slush wallet, right? So, there's all these different wallets, and then you kind of like another follow-up to that follow-up would be like, how many wallets is too many wallets, fam?
how do you guys do all the wallet things? That's my real question. Anyway, we got Save with his hand up. Save, what's up?
Yes. Honestly, I feel like you have to have a central exchange wallet no matter what. That's kind of the only way to kind of cash out in fiat. That's the kind of only way to kind of use your earnings. Haven't found a way to quote unquote smuggle money out into a bank account and use crypto exchange. I mean, we're just not there yet. But I do use Coinbase as one. I use just the wallet, not the central exchange. I use Robinhood for my central exchange, and I use my MetaMask for my universal everything because I got the EVM set up, so I'm able to access pretty much any network. And then I have a couple blockchain Pacifics, just like you said, Phantom, Soulflare, Gesso. I can meme coin trade.
I guess how I'm feeling about this, and my bad, Suave, if you weren't done. I think that you were finishing up there. Okay, sweet. Just making sure. I think how I would approach this is, again, it really just depends on the experience. If you're just getting into crypto, this might be a L take or a bad take for some people, but you really don't need anything other than the centralized exchange in the beginning. What's good, Digi? What's good, Yara? A bunch of other homies in here too. What's good? But I really don't think you need anything other than like a Robinhood or a Coinbase or Crypto.com. Like I found my first 100x I ever did in crypto was on Crypto.com app. Like, you can still find some gems, and they're going to keep adding more cryptos, and like you can find low caps that these centralized exchanges add and still get really good gains. So I don't know. I just think from a user experience perspective, if you're just getting started off, like keep it simple. Just buy a little bit on one of the centralized apps so you can easily on-ramp and off-ramp with, so that you can see the money's tangible, it's real. And then once you're comfortable, you've experienced a couple 10% down days, you've experienced a couple 20% up days, and vice versa. Then if you want to keep going and going further down the rabbit hole, maybe earning APY on your Bitcoin or this or that, then you jump into DeFi and start with the other wallets. But I really think personally, just start with the SEX. That's all you really need. And then depending on what chain you really resonate with, or if you start on crypto Twitter and you start talking to a certain group of people, then maybe go ahead and ask them what's the best app, because each ecosystem is going to have a preferred app, but we don't really need any of this crap unless if you're getting to be like either a real degen or a real investor in DeFi, like a lot of us are. So those are kind of my thoughts on that. Not sure if anybody else has anything different.
Yeah, we got a new speaker in the house real quick. Cats of Crypto. What's going on, fam? GM.
Did you catch the live stream last Saturday?
I did not, fam. What's up?
Oh, man. He doesn't believe in winning things. Oh, my God. You got to come and win some stuff. You got to come win some stuff, man.
I know. I win every day when I'm in spaces chatting with you, fam.
That's not how it works. No. Listen, you're not running a Browning factory here, so get it out of there.
I got a lot of Brownies.
Got a lot of brown. Hey, I don't want to know about your sex life, okay? Just because my ticker symbol is COC does not mean you get to do that.
That's the same thing I said. I said that's a bad abbreviation for this acronym.
That's a pretty good one. Anyway, that's kind of what I'm stopping by here. That, and I saw Joe here, of course, and I see my little banana pepper buddy down there. But yeah, I'm gonna throw this out there real fast, and I did put it in the comments, not up top. If you guys want to go over there, and yes, DigiJoints, Blake, I would love to have you. I would definitely love to have you come on the live stream. We're going to be booking some for next month. And I even want our guy from Crypto Fan Radio, and Joe can come over there, because every week we give something away. And we're having anywhere between 200 and 400 people show up at a time. And it's streaming across 6 platforms. Yeah, I talk about Cats Crypto there. Yes, Joker from Turbo is over there from BSC, and we talk about that. but we talk about what everybody else is doing and crypto as a whole in education spaces. And we might even throw some weird shit about some kind of ghost dick or something in there. Yes, I said the word ghost and dick in the same sentence. So yeah, if you don't know what that's about, you're going to have to go back and find the space from Turbo yesterday, and you can learn all about that, because that shit's just funny as hell. It's something my wife made up, because every time I was sitting there eating something, 5 minutes later I was choking on something, and so she would call it a ghost dick, and it's absolutely hilarious to me. But yeah, that's a meme coin waiting to be started for anybody who wants it. But yeah, I would love to have you and Crypto Fam Radio come on there, and we could do something with that, and we can have Digi Joints come on, and guys, just reach out. Banana knows, because Banana, I do believe, yes, is in the
Cats of Crypto. Real quick, sorry to cut you off. It's been great catching you, man. It has been a minute since I've seen you. I do just want to be as relatively timely as possible, though, for a lot of us. I do have to get running relatively soon, and I want to try and get through as many of these questions as possible. So I do want to try and keep things on topic. This is a Call-In Crypto show, so we got a lot of recordings that that Dew has been putting together for us, and we're kind of just jumping up here and answering these recordings, and then sort of giving our thoughts on things. So hell yeah, man, would love to hear your take, but come chill with us. Come hang out up here. I love your energy.
Yeah, no, I would love to have you guys. That's what I'm saying. Here's a call. I talk about call-in. That's what we're doing too. It's a lot of different aspects, so check it out.
Let's do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Joe and Cats of Crypto. Yeah, we'll definitely hit you up on the live stream. I was gonna say we're actually live streaming this space right now, fam, believe it or not. So go on the Crypto Fam Radio profile. You'll see my dirty mug right on there talking in my phone, fam. We're actually on YouTube as well. You can find us live. Yeah, it's amazing, fam. Live streams. I love it. Catch us, Crypto Fam. Back to the questions. And yeah, for those of you who don't know, this is the Call-In Crypto show.
How do taxes work for crypto gains and losses?
All right. So the question is, how do taxes work in crypto gains and losses? Who wants to take this first? Joe or Kimber? Don't all jump up at once.
I think it depends on where you live. I think it's 100%, geolocation kind of thing. In the U.S. where I'm at, it's just like any other asset. So if you buy and sell within a year, it's considered a short-term capital gain or loss in a lot of cases. And if you buy and sell anything like outside of a year or longer than a year, then it's a long-term capital gain. And then you sort of get, in those two buckets. But also, I think Trump just changed some stuff or whatever. Some orders just happened. So some stuff is changing in crypto and tips. And so we'll see what that leads. So stay tuned for any U.S. citizens. But I'd be curious for anybody else who might be different or have more insight on that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you're a U.S. citizen, yeah, very bullish in crypto right now. I think Trump recently is trying to pass tons of legislation that's very pro-crypto. So I'm very, very pumped about that. I hopefully, if there's any indication of him not taking a vacation in August, I repeat, usually every U.S. president since the dawn of time, I think, has taken a vacation in August. Nope, not President Trump. He's working through it. So, if the president is going to keep working through August, oh man, I'm bullish when it comes to the crypto market and the stocks in general. And all the markets, economy. So it should be very, very interesting current events in the next, I would say the next few weeks for sure, fam. But Kimber, do you want to answer that question or are you good?
Taxes. I mean, what are taxes? No.
Well, I remember you recommended this one tax girl that was in Spaces a few weeks ago. You're like, we got to get her on the show for the Web3 Women Wednesday. And I was like, really?
I also told you that I fell asleep like within 10 minutes of listening to her and said,
Oh,
never mind.
so monotone. I'm like, you could like be a little more exciting when you talk about the taxes, like fam. Like, let's be real.
Absolutely. I mean, let's be real. It is important to know about the taxes and everything. None of us want to get in trouble or anything like that. But yeah, taxes can be boring if not introduced in the correct way.
I just, well, sorry, are you finished, Kimber?
I am good.
Yeah, all right. I was gonna say, I'm like, you gotta just treat crypto like a business, right? If you're running your own business, you're gonna want to set aside money for taxes. Just do the same thing with crypto. And yeah, maybe you didn't, the money you put off to the side for taxes, maybe it didn't get all used up for taxes. That's cool, fam. But as a general rule of thumbs, over in the U.S. anyway, if you're an American citizen and you're paying your taxes, it's I would say rule of thumbs, you can correct me if I'm wrong too, Joe, I think it's around 20, almost 25% now. All gains you've made, just set it aside for taxes. So
Depends on your tax bracket.
that's true too. That's true, but I would say in general, medium, middle class kind of, I would say.
My broke ass. Like, no, I'm kidding. You can also do things to offset your tax burden. You'll see a lot of people playing around with this. So in the United States, if you actually lose money on an investment, you can write that off on your taxes, so you don't have to pay as much. So like you can kind of like, if you make a lot of gains and then you have something that's like a fat loss, or like all of your meme coins and stuff like this, like you can oftentimes write that off as losses and then just pay like less taxes towards the gains that you actually did make. So there's a lot of tomfoolery to be done. Taxes are not always bad and boring. There's something that the rich use to their advantage a lot of times. So yeah, definitely interesting, and we'll see how it evolves over time as time goes on. But I do see Palumi also has their hand up on my screen. I'm not sure if that's just my screen or if X is doing X things, but
X is doing X things. Palumi is listener for me without his hand raised, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I like the list. Oh, my bad. Good.
Oh no, he's the same way for me. It just say connecting with the hand up.
Classic. Dude, something you said earlier that I like is Listener's Lodge. I'm gonna definitely use that, bro. That's massive.
Yeah,
That's a win.
You like that alliteration?
Listener's Lodge for sure.
I think I heard that on like a coffee podcast or something. It was one of these, chill cat cafe vibes, Anyway, fam, let's get back to the questions. This is Crypto Fam Radio, the Calling Crypto Show. Let's go.
What is blockchain and the difference between blockchain and cryptocurrency? And is crypto safe or is it a scam? What is DeFi?
All right, fam. So, a few questions there. We kind of answered the first one, skip over that one. But there is a difference, believe it or not, with crypto. And I think once you figure that out, fam, you're able to figure out the rest of the crypto, I would say. It's funny because I know, and I know a lot of people say this in this space as well, with cryptocurrency and blockchain, interchangeably, which probably is not a good thing because they are two different things. And if we're trying to onboard, let's say, normies or newbies to the space who are trying to understand, what this word means versus this word, that's got to be clear. Obviously, they need to understand that. So I think the easiest would be to just sit down and figure out what cryptocurrency is, right? And that's just like it's with every day in this space. It's this digital assets that we're just transferring back and forth, and anything that deals with like Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So I feel like they could be used interchangeably though, but I don't want to confuse people that are just getting into crypto. So I would say my follow-up question maybe to this is, what's a great easy way to explain what cryptocurrencies are, right? And then, and I think when we refer to blockchain, we need to be referring to blockchain technologies, right? Like blockchain networks, or it's got to be like in lieu. It just can't be like blockchain, right? It just can't be that simple blockchain. It's got to be more than that, like does that make sense, fam? I know we're kind of getting into semantics a little bit about words, but words are important, right? Words help us describe and help us define, other words. So anyway, Save, you got your hand up. I'll let you take this one first.
Yes, yes. So blockchain would be the ecosystem or the world, and cryptocurrency would be the currency of that world.
Boom.
Oh, I love that explanation.
Yeah, that's actually really, really smart. I really love that analogy as well. And it's very simple, and it's like the blockchain is like you have to go to it, right? It's a place. And the cryptocurrency, it's the actual currency, right? It's the digital exchange of a value between tokens. Yeah, so I love it. I love it. That makes sense. Joe, Kimber, anything to add to that?
I think he nailed it, and it just depends on who you're talking to. Yeah, I like that a lot. Decentralized money, I think that is a fair one to what Banana Pepper was saying earlier. If we wanted to keep it at its simplest, decentralized information. If we want to go another layer, but I think Swab's explanation, that was smooth, bro. That was a mic drop moment right there. I was like, oh shit, I've never heard that. Like blockchain is the ecosystem, and then the crypto is the payments for that ecosystem. I definitely think that's something I'm gonna use in the future. So good looks.
Yes, amazing. Kimber?
No, I think everyone got it.
All right, and then his last question, which I kind of went over it, is crypto safe or is it a scam? Save, go for it.
Tough question. So crypto is safe, but it has scams in it. Just like any form in any market, there will be people out there willing to steal from you. So be aware of the scams inside crypto, because crypto to me is a broad term. I'm using crypto for internet. So when I say let's go get on crypto, I mean we can go to Facebook, we can go to Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, etc. Those are the different blockchains. So each form have their different scams. Some have DMs, some have phishing links, some will just say, give me $5 on a pre-sale, and they run off. So it's, most of the time you're giving them permission, not because of some super scam, super computer figuring something out. They just socially engineered you into giving your password up, and that's how they got you.
Yeah, I think on to Swab's point, is it a scam? No. Is the people that are in the real world that know you hold crypto scammers? Yes. So like you can get socially manipulated, but like the tech itself is not a scam. And I guess what I'd say too is like market cap wise, if we think of how much money's in crypto, overwhelming majority of it is not going towards scams or scammers. Like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, they make up the majority of the volume in all of crypto. But on like crypto Twitter and like the social layers of crypto and like the back ends of smaller caps, those are where you're going to find all the scams. It's like more of the social aspect. So like per money amount wise, very small percent is like scams, but there's still like really big scams that happen if you're playing with any like micro caps or in any social realm. People are trying to socially manipulate you. We're in a space that has a lot of sociopaths, so yeah, look out for that.
Yes, ma'am, for sure. Kimber, did you want to add anything to that as well?
I would just say do your research, that gets said all the time in the space for a reason because you really need to make sure that you're looking into everything and everyone that you interact with in the crypto space.
Definitely, fam. All right. We're going to keep rolling along, fam. Hello. This is the Colin Crypto Show. How can I help you?
Is it a scam? What is DeFi, decentralized finance, and how do I use it?
What?
All right. What is DeFi, decentralized finance, and how do I use it, fam? That is the question. Who'd like to take that first? Not everyone raised their hands at once. All right, Save.
All right. So, in my own definition, I believe DeFi or decentralized finance is a copy and paste of the traditional market. So, stocks, bonds, indexes, ETFs, etc., etc.
I would say.
I could. Go for it, Joe.
I would say that DeFi. I mean, just in addition to that, because I think that was all true. DeFi gets to be. It requires smart contracts and a non-biased third party ahead of time. So when I think of the difference between centralized finance and DeFi, like centralized finance use primarily order books to facilitate trades, and we use primarily liquidity pools. We do have order books, but we use like liquidity pools. So I think that DeFi relies on smart contracts to execute transactions or different arrangements versus having like a centralized organization execute on those same transactions. That's, I guess, what I'm thinking. I think it needs a smart contracts and not a biased third party intermediary.
Kimber, want to add to anything?
Nope, I think Joe got it.
Don't lie. Say you don't gotta be nice.
All right. On to the next question, fam.
Or exchange should I use?
Centralized finance, and how do I use it?
What wallet or exchange should I use, and how do I pick one?
All right. I think we kind of hit this question earlier, fam. We could just briefly go over it one more time. There's probably some new listeners in the audience as well. Honestly, what wallet or exchange should I use? How do I pick one? Trusted platforms, I would say, or central exchanges. You should probably pick one of those, like we mentioned earlier. Trusted platforms, yeah, you could just Google those, right? Google's got all your answers there. I would just say SEX, yeah, central exchanges, Coinbase, Kraken, any of these, even crypto.com, they would probably be the safest bets moving forward. So, like I mentioned, we already kind of answered that question. But if anyone else wants to answer it or kind of go over a different version of it, by all means. If not, we're just going to keep rolling. All right, keep rolling, fam. Awesome. Hello. Colin Crypto Show. How can I help you?
And how do I stay up to date with crypto news and trends? How many cryptocurrencies exist, and what moves crypto prices?
When will the...
All right. How many cryptocurrencies exist, and how crypto prices? Oh, man. If I really knew that, I wouldn't be in crypto, right? Like, it's like, I predict the weather. Predict the weather, fam. It's going to rain today. And then it doesn't rain. I'm like, oh, my prediction was wrong. I suck. All right. I need to go back to the drawing board, obviously. I don't know the question to how many cryptocurrencies are there. Maybe Save knows. He's got his hand up. Save?
Too many.
Too many.
Too many. Oversaturation.
Oversaturation.
Solana side, oversaturated.
Is
People
that
don't even know that we have dead contracts on the Ethereum side that is collecting waste that will bloat our system in the future. So just imagine a landfill. We're not storing our landfill on our blockchain anywhere. It's just in people's backyards right now. So someone have to come up with solutions to start gathering all this blockchain waste that's being left over with the smart contracts. So we have to constantly figure out how to speed our network up with more smart contract executions. I know I want to go over I thought I heard the question that say, where can I learn about crypto or something like that?
Yeah.
It's a website called StockTwits. You just put in cryptocurrency and it's everybody talking about that specific cryptocurrency. Now, half of it is let's go to the moon. But you can kind of see people's psychology and interests and pick up on when people are Googling things and pretty much following people that's talking about it. That's how I found most of my coins early on, before Twitter and before people started marketing on Twitter and before Telegram and Discord. They were marketing on Reddit, stock, Wall Street bets, and stock tweets or stock twits or something of that nature.
Awesome advice, Ave. Yeah, if you want to pin something up on the Jumbotron about that website as well, or comments, that'd be appreciative as well. And then there was that other question. I'm trying to remember. I'm gonna have to replay that. Joe, Kimber, do you guys have anything to add to that?
Can you replay the second part of the question?
Yeah, totally. 1 second. Stop licking me.
With crypto news and trends. How many cryptocurrencies exist and what moves crypto prices?
When will the next...
Okay. All right. There we go. How many cryptocurrencies exist and what moves the prices was the end of that.
So I think we already covered there's pretty much infinite cryptocurrencies getting invented. Yeah. And then in terms of what moves the prices, it really just depends. So I briefly touched on earlier, there's like order books and liquidity pools, and to keep things very basic and high level, an order book is like you have Bitcoin, you say you want to sell it for this price, you have to find an exact match or someone else in the world who's trying to buy at that exact same price. Those are order books, or what an order book is essentially. And then liquidity pools are based on an algorithm, so you don't need an exact buyer and seller, you just have a certain combination of, in this case, let's say Bitcoin and USDT or USD, and then depending on the ratio that's in the liquidity pool, and if you're buying or selling, will like depend on how that's going to impact the price of the coin. But you can actually manipulate. This is where a lot of manipulation comes in, is with either using liquidity pools to your advantage or the order books. That's why you can have people buying lots and lots and lots of Bitcoin or lots and lots and lots of Ethereum or whatever, and the price isn't going up or down, or they're selling it and the price isn't going up or down. It's because like, you can have people just sending it peer-to-peer behind closed doors. You can have really deep order books. There's just how deep the liquidity is what Suave was talking about earlier. There's just so many ways that people can then go and manipulate the price. Even if there's lots of buys, you might not see the actual price go up because of these order books or because of these backdoors, what centralized exchanges are doing, etc. So to answer your question, it's complicated, but it has to do with liquidity pools and order books, and of course supply and demand at the end of the day is what determines the price of any asset that's out there. So it's complicated, but somewhere in there is the answer.
Yeah, I would definitely say it has to do with economics, right?
buying, selling, trading of goods and services throughout all the markets of the world globally. But I would tend to say it's not always true though, but like, just the basic stock market, all of what they got going on. It does kind of play into what Bitcoin has done and vice versa. Sometimes they follow each other. Sometimes they always don't. But it really, it definitely, also can depend on current events. What's happening in the news, tariffs. That's kind of a big thing as well. So, Kimber, did you want to add anything to that, or are you good?
Nope, I think you got it. I was going to add that, a lot of people don't think about, IRL things and news affecting our market, but it really does. Just like it does with the stocks. And you hit that. So good job, Do.
Thank you. Save, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, just a little bit. There was a correlation effect about news and real world order books going off. I sometimes talk about the hash rate on Bitcoin, and sometimes sharp drops in hash rate sometimes lead to compressed blocks, or should I say extended blocks. So then it sometimes have to compress back to the 10-minute block. And during those times, you have a high volatility swing, and I figured that I found multiple instances to where we have these mighty V-shaped traditional market moments, all because of the hash rate. And that's just because of miners are going offline at times. So if there's ever a moment like a blackout or like a future mining stop, things might drop tremendously and then rebound back tremendously. So that's a fear of mine for Bitcoin, because that will lead into everything else, because everything is under Bitcoin. So we have to now, because we're at a point of no return, we have to keep our energy infrastructure up, because if we don't, that energy infrastructure will affect Bitcoin price in a way that it doesn't affect the traditional market. I do feel, let's say if Iran stopped selling oil, they would never stop. You know what I'm saying? They can't stop because the economy needs it. So now people are realizing that our energy needs are so high that we have to figure out a way to keep our data flowing, because any blip, data might get lost. Data might get copied. We don't know what could happen on the blockchain if things start skipping or compressing because there's not enough energy demand to keep it up.
Sort of on that note too, I guess things get complicated. Right now we're talking about things in terms of USD, what affects the price of crypto, and price we're referring to in terms of US dollars. But for anybody who's been around for a few cycles, the meta used to be that we compare everything as sats. We measure everything in Satoshis, like how many sats is this, how many sats is that. And as we see more and more that US dollar is a totally fake currency that we're just using, for shits and giggles, and Bitcoin is the sound money, I think we'll get sort of converted back into that. People understand it doesn't matter what the US dollar amount is, it matters how much is this worth versus sats, or else I should just be holding more Bitcoin. If I'm not, making more money and buying more Bitcoin, then I'm going down in value, because US dollar value of things doesn't matter. We're printing infinity US dollars. So, I guess that's where things come into question too. And we're talking about, Bitcoin and the hash rate, things like that. If you're a fan of the 4-year cycles, then, and people have different opinions on this right now. I'm still more pro it than against it. But a lot of it is determined by the miners and how much does it cost for them to mine the Bitcoins, and then are they holding on to it or are they releasing it back into the ecosystem? And that supply shock that the miners create by when they're selling versus when they're buying and holding on to the Bitcoin that they mine, that is ultimately, it takes like a year and a half to affect the market. But that's what a lot of our 4-year cycles are based off of, is like the halvening happens and the amount of money that the miners are making halves essentially because they're getting less Bitcoin. So then they start holding it. So then somewhere down the line, a year later, it creates a supply shock. And then we have these giant bursts of, price go up type of things, which is what we're going to see these next 6 to 8 months. That's what is expected from here, is because of that, and that lines up with previous 4-year cycles. So I think this answer of what makes price go up or down will evolve over time, but we also have to consider that Bitcoin is ultimately the hardest money that we have right now, gold or Bitcoin, whatever. And we're soon ultimately going to start comparing everything else, in my opinion, in stats. So that's all that really matters. Might take a decade or 2 decades, but that's how we should be pricing things, in my opinion.
Yeah, sounds good to me, fam. All right, we're going to move on to the next question. Let's go. Hello. It's the Calling Crypto Show. How can I help you?
Prices.
When will the next bull bear market happen? And
when will the next bull bear market happen? Wow. If I knew, I would totally tell you. I swear, fam. I would tell you in a heartbeat when the next bear and bull market is going to be. Honestly, it's kind of a silly question, but I always like to say that there is no stupid question out there. And for those of you who are just starting and you hear the term, oh, I'm very bearish this cycle, or I'm very bullish this cycle, people need to know what those terms mean, right? So I would like to rephrase that question a little bit to that. Right? Like, are we in a bearish cycle currently, or are we in a bullish cycle right now? And from what I've heard throughout the spaces, anyway, in crypto in the last few months, I've heard we're in a bullish cycle, but you could correct me if I'm wrong, fam. Save, I see your hand up.
Yes, I believe we're still inside of a bull market. We have been in a bull market for close to 2 years, 2.5 years. It don't seem like it, but previous cycle was the bottom, was like 20,000, 25,000. So if you bought anywhere between 25 and 72,000, you should be up at this moment. You should be in profit. So that's what you call a bull market, but technically that was a bear market, right? It's like we get these exponential curves on Bitcoin, and then like a slight exponential drop down, and then another slow exponential curve up. So we kind of keep having this U-shape top. So you pretty much have to time and ask someone, at what point did you buy? Did you buy pre-halving top, or did you buy post-halving top? Did you buy now I ain't even gonna get too complex, but that's pretty much how it is. You just pretty much have to ask someone, where did they buy it? Because I had a trader say that they bought Ethereum at 4,000 back in 2021, and they just seen their portfolio drop. They're like, it's never going back to 4,000. Well, back in November, I was telling them, never fear, Bitcoin and Ethereum pair is here. And I started pushing him through his psychological ceiling, because he was going to sell at an extreme loss because he felt crypto was never coming back after 3 years. And I had to explain to him about this 4-year cycle that we have with Bitcoin, but we have a 3-year cycle with Ethereum. And we're in a 16-year crossing point because the genesis of Bitcoin is 2009. We're in 2025, 2026. That's 16 years. 16 is a magical number. That's why I feel that they're crossing both at a point where they're both going to rise. The pair would exceed or top out at its previous top in 2021. It might not seem like it because Bitcoin is going to touch like 190 something. But on the metrics and the RSI and the MACD and things like that, they're very similar to previous cycles. That's it.
And sort of to add to what Suave is saying, again, I think it depends on if we're looking at Bitcoin versus the altcoins, essentially. And there's just so many macro markets that are also affecting these. But yeah, Bitcoin and versus all the altcoins are just going to act very differently in terms of where the money flows. So Bitcoin tends to pump like crazy, and then we see the high caps will pump like a few weeks to months later, and then the liquidity goes into mid caps and the micro caps and NFTs. And sometimes it takes like a year to 2 years for all that to happen. So we saw, NFTs were going crazy late 2021 on Solana. But by that point, the bull market had been over. Like, we should have been out type of thing if you were on Bitcoin, but you still could have been making bread in 2021 doing NFTs until that cycle finally got exhausted. And NFTs, I think, are, again, going to be probably the leading indicator of when the market's about to totally kind of finish for this cycle. But yeah, I think that Bitcoin has its own sort of cycles, and then all the other alts are just waiting on how the liquidity is going to fall. And it takes sometimes months before those other coins to pump, like Ethereum to pump versus Bitcoin to hit all-time highs. So really just all depends on where you're loaded up, where your conviction is, all that time, or all that stuff. If you zoom out, when in doubt, zoom out. Bitcoin never ceases to be in a bull run. It's always going towards all-time highs. It's hitting a logarithmic pattern. It's moving up exponentially. Whereas if you have a short-term time horizon, then you're beat. You could be up or down day by day.
Yes. And we're at that moment to where that exponential curve start really going vertical. It might not seem like it, but we're approaching it within months. We're 90 days until we reach that point, and people are going to be sidelined. And it's like, oh my God, I should have bought Solana at 150. Now it's 225, but it drops back down to 160, 180 real quick before it reached that 300 again. And that's when people get that, you're down again. I know I shouldn't have bought it. Oh my God, it's back at 300, because everybody's running hopium and not metric data. It just, so like I said, it's just a bunch of psychology that's involved with the market. So if you're hype right now and you bought now, just know within a year, you're going to be in no profit. So make sure you take profit within 6 months on anything, because you're going to be stuck with a bag for a couple years. I made my mistake about doing that, but I don't think anybody else would be comfortable holding something that might not ever come back. Be prepared for some 60 to 80% dips. Slowly though, it's gonna dip slow, not quick. You're gonna have it. It's gonna come back within 6 months, and it's not. You're gonna hit a 15% month. Like I told you guys, we're back up, but you've been down 40. So a 15% increase is still, you're still down 30 some odd percent. So that don't really mean anything.
Bro, I think the Suave, that what you're saying, the biggest thing exactly the only thing to keep the money, man. Like we'll see, Bitcoin won't go up as high, but it's not going to retrace like Solana. Even Solana, top 10 crypto, did over a 90% correction. It was a 95% correction last cycle. So like that's where
Yeah,
the bull bears will freaking smack you for sure.
exactly. So it's altcoins will drop first before Bitcoin, but that's where you start learning how to hedge your crypto. You start going to less volatile, more higher cap, so you can start hedging and just pretty much wait for the next 2 years. Because I believe crypto Twitter will die within a year because there's no more uptrend euphoria. So we have to try to capitalize the attention of people that are sad and depressed.
Is this peak crypto Twitter? Should I stop engagement farming? Should I stop growing my account?
You
I'll
need
play.
to keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, because it's gonna be because it won't just be Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Ethereum would take the lead. So many things that's on Ethereum would last for like another like 2 years. So it'd be more altcoin based. Bitcoin won't really be spoken about too much. It'd be more building at that time. People would they done already took their profits for the year, and now they about to reinvest all this back into the crypto space and try to do this for the next cycle. But like I said, you just have to find your niche and just stay with it.
Definitely, fam. I appreciate that response, Ave. Joe. Kimber, you're a little quiet. Did you want to say anything, or are you good?
I'm good.
All right, no worries. All right, you have the next question. All right, Kimber. Joe and Save, they've just been eating all these questions up the last hour. And yeah, there's only a few questions left for you, Kimber. So I'd hate for you to luck out.
Don't put that pressure on me.
Give her a hard one. Give her a hard one. Say.
Nope, it's all you. I done whammied out, and
right.
we need some female energy now.
Here we go. Love it, fam. Let's go.
And how to participate in airdrops or
Cryptocurrencies exist and what moves crypto prices.
when will the next bull bear market happen? And how to participate in airdrops or crypto giveaways. What's the future?
All right. So his question was, how do you participate in airdrops and giveaways? I think I got Kimber's got this one, obviously. I'm not gonna get it. Kimber's got it. Go for it, Kimber.
How to participate in airdrops and giveaways. Well, by being in amazing spaces. Of course, Crypto Fam does a lot of good giveaways. And a bunch of other, DigiJoins was in here. He does some good giveaways. No, participation, interacting, getting to know the community, supporting, sharing, liking, loving, all the amazing people here in the crypto space. But also, speaking of airdrops, make sure you know that that is an airdrop from where you think it's from. Don't just click on any random airdrop, because then all your money could be poof, gone, goodbye forever. So definitely.
Exactly, fam. Joe, did you want to chime in there?
I would say Kim's got mama duties. That's all. She got 2 jobs on her hands. Crypto's a full-time, so is being a mom. So I respect that. But now I'm curious for your guys' takes, or if you have anything.
Yeah, I was just gonna concur what Kimber said. Being part of a community. That's what I would say if you want to participate in giveaways and airdrops, because usually within that community, they're gonna have cool stuff to give back, right? To give value to their community. That's how they're growing, right? That's how they got you in the first place, right? They got to sucker you in somehow, right, fam? No, for real though. It goes back to just getting involved, right? Collaborating, connecting, growing, cross-pollinating. It's just, making friends, right? Like I know it's hard to make friends sometimes, fam. it's definitely a skill that not everyone has, for sure. And the more and more I'm in these spaces, the more and more I notice usually the same people who are genuinely friendly, right, that want to connect, and then there's others that just they're not, right? You know, you meet those people day to day. It's called reality, fam. Not everyone is going to like you and trust you and give you money, even to the point that even if they don't like you and they do the opposite of that, and you're like, okay, well, those people exist too. Yeah, that's life, fam. That's life. It's reality, and you just gotta move on. That's why you gotta find your community, right? You gotta find like-minded people that value you and value your opinion and value you as a person, and then you feel more included, right? And you want to do more for your community, right? You want to give back as well. There's that reciprocity. And so we want to connect, we want to grow, and part of that growth is through giveaways, through these opportunities. Being a space host, I've been given lots of giveaways. I wouldn't say lots of giveaways, but I've been given some giveaways, right? Because people see me in this space, they see me building and grinding, and they want to reward me, and they know space hosting is a thankless job, right, fam? Yeah, we all know that as well. And we're trying to get space hosts getting paid in this space. I know, fam, still working on it, fam. Don't worry. But we'll get there. But Joe's got his hand up. What's up, Joe?
Yeah, just to add to what you're saying, I think communities are always important in the space. It's going to be sort of your anchor that you go to. But for me personally, I really started on crypto. YouTube is like the best place to go, in my opinion, especially YouTube. It used to be, I don't know about now, but it used to be the #2 search engine in the world behind Google, and before AI was really taken off. So I'd be curious how that's changed. But if you're looking for airdrops, crypto airdrops, just go on YouTube, type in free crypto airdrops, and then filter out for the last week or 2 weeks or month or whatever, and then just check out, see what's there. That's the benefit of YouTube versus this platform. And maybe if you just know someone is on YouTube, a lot of people will walk you step by step, share their screens, and show you how they're actually farming the airdrops versus just telling you, and maybe you're clicking on a scam link or whatever. So I think YouTube is an incredible platform. And X, you can search, but the matching just isn't as good. It's not very optimal. Like if I search, airdrops on Solana, free airdrops on Solana, I'll just get a bunch of garbage too in between a couple of good posts about it. So I'd say go to YouTube. If you're looking for some airdrop farming to do, hit up YouTube, just type in free airdrop farms and insert whatever chain you want at the end, and you'll find some good stuff on there for sure. That's how I started, and that's what I'd recommend anybody doing, is getting over on YouTube, crypto YouTube, or jumping in a good community. But airdrop farming specifically, I think YouTube is the best.
Dude, I would have never thought of YouTube. That's actually a really, really good answer. I'm going to have to jump on YouTube later, fam. Look at airdrops, because that's the alpha, fam. That is the alpha.
And also, sort of on that note, I guess even more of the alpha in terms of crypto is if you are watching those YouTubers, find the people who only have a few thousand subscribers. Don't find any major channels. I mean, sure, maybe check them out, but the people with only a few thousand subscribers that are actually showing their faces, not some AI garbage. Those are the people that are hustling, trying to actually, they're actually in the trenches. They're doing it themselves, and they actually want to find you gold because they're looking for your subscription. They want you to like the video, all that stuff. Versus when it's a bigger account, odds are they're only going to tell you stuff that everybody else has already heard of or farmed the crap out of, so it's not even worth your time or your energy to check it out. So a lot of airdrops are dependent on how many people get in them, and there's only a certain amount of money. So if there's more people, you get less money typically. So I recommend that as well, as find the low-key channels and the low-key KOLs on here, if you will, or whatever you want to call them these days, because those are usually the ones that are actually more legit and trying to provide real alpha and value at the end of the day. So I just had to add on to that a little bit there, dude.
Yeah, no, thanks, Joe. I was just thinking I could just ask Grok later, hey, give me low-tier crypto influencers on YouTube or something with airdrops, and probably give me a list, maybe. Yeah, kind of help me out.
low tier, you might want to try out a different word, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
A few thousand. what do you call micro influencers? No, sorry, they're not influencers. They're micro, right? So micro influencers on YouTube that need subscribers, free airdrops or something. I don't know. We can figure that out. We are gonna keep rolling, fam. We're almost done with these questions. The space is actually gonna run in about 20 minutes. So if you guys have an impending question, crypto question, you can hit that mic and we'll get to you as soon as possible. But in the meantime, we're gonna finish these questions, close out the space, and then make sure, fam, up on the Jumbotron, Save actually posted some really great articles about Bitcoin, thesis about Bitcoin. That's cool. Check that out. And then also about if you want to learn more about cryptocurrencies, they've got that stocktweets.com up there as well. Also, we've got our newsletter. I forgot to mention that earlier, fam. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, if you haven't yet, I'm actually going to finally launch it this Sunday. I have over 50 subscribers now, so I'm like, all right, now it's worth my time, right? So if you guys don't know, Crypto Fam Radio has a newsletter. It's going to be coming out every Sunday, attached to the live space schedule that comes out every week, right? It comes out typically on Sundays, sometimes early Monday mornings. But I've been pretty religious, right, at showing up every Sunday, right, and giving my thanks to Canva and scheduling this calendar out for everyone and to enjoy. So anyway, fam, that's what's going on. And then the weekly live space schedule's right up there as well. If you can max engage that would be amazing. All right, back to the questions, fam. Appreciate everyone here supporting Crypto Fam Radio. This is the Calling Crypto Show. How can I help you? Hello. What's your crypto problem?
Of crypto regulation and government.
No, we're gonna
the market happen, and how to participate in airdrops or crypto giveaways. What's the future of crypto regulation and government involvement?
All right, what is the future of crypto regulation, government involvement? That's a great question. I know Save, you have an answer. I'm gonna say my piece real quick here, and then I'll go over to Save. Honestly, we can't predict the future. All right, my response is we can't predict the future. However, technology is just getting better and better every day, right? Faster and faster. We've got AI, we got robots, we got these AI drones and AI dogs and all kinds of AI tech stuff. It's getting kind of crazy. Included with that is, blockchain technology, all these cryptocurrencies, and sometimes it can get really, really overwhelming, right, for everyone. But yes, I do predict though, and if in the near future we will have more government regulation as crypto grows and reaches newer audiences every single day. When more people learn about it, there's going to definitely be more regulation involved. That's for sure. How much? That is the question, right? That is the question. And I think time will tell from that. But Save, I want to go over to you real quick. I did see your hand up earlier. Appreciate you, Sam.
Yes. I have a bold prediction. I believe we have about 2 to 3 years of wild west crypto functionality right now, and then we won't really be this free until 2032. I give it another 8 years from this point until we'll be this free in crypto again. There will be more strict laws for sure coming up. I just think that we just have a pro crypto president at the moment. And I believe that will change in the future. I just think that we just have to have someone that's young enough for American politics. Now I'm speaking American politics. Someone young enough to kind of see how this would work and how it would benefit I ain't gonna say American government. How would it affect them? Because honestly, I think America is going to buy up so much Bitcoin, sell it to the rest of the world, buy all their natural resources and assets for Bitcoin, and then say, haha, I got real natural resources and assets now because I traded you my digital Bitcoin, which they know theoretically is kind of Ponzi, but not Ponzi in a way. But at a broad scale, I mean, that's kind of how I feel. America's going to be a bully and gather as many natural resources as possible through the purchase of Bitcoin.
That was a take and a half. I love that, Suave. I just wanted to add, I think that the U.S. is a bully. A lot of our invasions are just us trying to force other countries to adopt the SWIFT system, and soon it will be the Bitcoin standard or whatever new standard we decide upon. So, yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Unfortunately, everything that you said. But also, our current monetary system is a Ponzi, and everything is a Ponzi until it isn't. But that was a hilarious food for thought. You said we're right, just buy all the Bitcoin and then trade that for all their natural resources. That's crazy, bro. It totally could happen. It totally could happen. I don't know why I haven't thought of that.
It's already happening through USDC. There's American companies that have transformed some Southeast Asian companies to go almost fully USDC, and they have taxes implemented into their smart contract. It's ridiculous. So just imagine every time you get paid, your taxes come out automatically. You don't do taxes no more. Yeah, that's a scary future for us. You know, all of a sudden we just get a deducted tax. Like your ID was due today, 32 sats. Damn. Fuck.
Got me. No, it is interesting. I think a lot of us, or the true Bitcoin libertarians, or whatever, who's ever the original people pushing it, a lot of them were still pro Bitcoin, but then also like cash maxis as well. Like it's either Bitcoin or cash, just for that exact. We need some other exchange of value besides this layer that everybody can see and can be controlled by governments, etc. Hash power wars. Who knows how that's going to evolve in the future? With all the energy and stuff like that. Who knows if they'll manufacture even more of an energy crisis than they already manufacture now. So yeah, we'll see.
We're about to go into a stable coin cycle. I've spoken about stable coins a lot when I was on crypto. Is that there are going to be a lot of derivatives under crypto? Like we have USD1, which is World Liberty Financial. We got the Ripple USD, which is XRP. I mean, we see these stable coins on DEX, and you can actually tell if a chain is very active by the expense of the stable coin, or you can see that they have to start inserting stable coins, or I apologize, not inserting stable coins. They'll be inserting liquidity and money into the stable coin to bring it back up to that $1 standard. So it's going to be very, very interesting in the future with how stable coins will function, because you don't want to get caught up in a stable coin to where you're hit with a tax that USDC normally don't do, or USDT doesn't do. They're going to have you buy something under them, and that asset will be pegged to either USDT or USDC.
I guess let me throw this question at other people ask a question. I would ask a question. Do you guys think the Clarity Act, the Stablecoin Act, all that stuff that just passed recently, do you think that is low key the wolf in sheep's clothing? Like, are we just replacing, obviously we're trying to get rid of the Fed is what a lot of is going on there, but it's like, we're just taking the power and saying, okay, no CBDCs by the Fed, but okay, here are banks and bankers who are incredibly massive pieces of shit, and don't care about anybody else making money for themselves. Here, you guys are now in charge of the future of finance, and we won't have any, central regulating body. We'll just have all the bankers in the world, or really just the major bankers kind of run the show. Like, Like, what do you guys think about that? Is it really any better than what we would have had with the CBDC?
Mm,
Oh, Sabe, you want to go?
go.
You can go.
I mean, go if you want to.
Honestly, I feel like President Trump is just trying to move his bags. I feel like a lot of his assets are in crypto, right? So he's going to want to do any kind of pro crypto legislation to try to move all his assets, right? His crypto assets to where he wants to put them, right? And he probably not gonna, I can't verify, but he probably has a lot of friends in the banking communities, So I don't have a friend list, of who Trump likes and doesn't like, but considering, I don't want to say it's like the old boys, kind of like, I rub my back, you rub, I can rub yours, whatever. But I think, it's a tough call. It's a tough call. At the same time, I'm celebrating, but at the same time, I'm not. Like, I hate banks as much as everyone else here in this space. I feel, right? Like, if you're in crypto, you're very, like, no banks allowed, right? Like, I want to handle my money. I don't want you to touch it. Even if I'm not touching it, I don't want you to touch it, right? So it's a tough question, Joe, but it's like, if not now, when, right? Like, they got to get on board eventually anyway. It's another thought I have. Like, they've kind of been giving crypto the back seat for so long, and now the government's basically gave them the green light. So yeah, it's kind of a wait and see game, but to be honest, I'm not super thrilled with it, Joe. But at the same time, it's like, what are our other options, right? So Save, did you want to say anything else? Go for it.
There was I believe I was reading somewhere about banks can't gain yields on stable coins, which it might be true, it might not. I haven't really read the Genius Stablecoin Act too much. I haven't asked Grok to explain it to me like I'm 5. I just pretty much just skimmed over it. But if that's true, then that mean that we can no longer earn yields on stable coins. And I don't really think that's fair. I believe that you should be able to earn stable coins based on your APY for your regular crypto. Because if I'm earning 7%, why would I put my money in a stable coin just so it can just be hedged? It wouldn't make no sense. That's the reason why staking have started, so they can keep their tokens on chain, so they can use it for liquidity, so they can use it for that fractionalized borrowing that they do. Because they have to borrow this amount to sometimes ramp up the volume. So if you don't have that exchange rate going back and forth, then it'd be nothing. But I think that they're doing this because if the stable coin would ever go below 992, which it should never go below 992. I think that's the lowest I've ever seen a stable coin go. If it goes below 992, you can start arbitraging stable coins, and you will start getting 8% back on every candle every hour. So I don't think they don't want people to start scalping their stable coins, so they're putting a tax on it to where you no longer get that, because it's free to swap. I mean, it's damn near free. If you put $1,000 in, you should get back like 998 and some change. It's like 90 cents for every transfer. That's nothing. But if they say $1.25 for every transfer, you can't arbitrage stable coins anymore. And people are arbitraging crypto all the time. And arbitraging means just being able to buy a coin low on one blockchain, being able to swap it to another blockchain and then cash out higher on that price. So they were doing that with BNB early with Doge. They were buying it low over on Coinbase and swapping it over to Doge because the mechanics of Ethereum was inflating the price because of the gas fees. So if you bought anything, so if you bought Doge now on BNB, you was great. But if you bought it on BNB, you was stuck with this inflated price and you paid a premium. I feel like stablecoin is going to do that. You're going to have to pay a premium into swapping back and forth. This isn't going to be a daily swap. No, you better swap once a month. And if you don't, you're going to get hit with a fee of some sort. Like you can only swap maybe 3 to 5 times a month. It will have some kind of BS law implemented into a derivative of a stablecoin. Sorry if I said a mouthful.
I think that was fair. I think that is totally fair. And yeah, at the end of the day, one of the good things about DeFi is us being able to participate in these ecosystems. Like we don't have to be, we don't have to own a certain amount of money or this or that. The average person can now go and loan out their money and start earning yields on it, just like banks and the rest of the financial institutions do. It just brings it to the retail, brings it to everyday people. So I do think it's really important that we have those options. And yeah, to what Du said earlier, I think that there is no perfect system. There's no perfect government. There's no perfect monetary system. None of this stuff is going to be perfect. So it makes me just wonder, is the Fed better or worse than the banks being in control of all this stuff? And I think we'll just have to see how it plays out. But Suave, you definitely bring up some great points. It's really important that we have access to these systems. And personally, I thought this was how the U.S. is going to get us out of debt. You want to know my meta play here is like, if we take a look at the top volume, even for today, if I go to CoinGecko and sort things by 24-hour volume, Tether's number 1, and it's not even close. It does more than double the number 2 24-hour volume, which is Ethereum. It does more. Tether, USDT, does more 24-hour volume than Ethereum and Bitcoin combined, and almost XRP combined. And then there's another USD stablecoin down there. So imagine if we the government or the Fed or someone just earned like 1%, 0.1% of the 24-hour volume, we do. That's how DeFi works. We get the small percent for people using our money. It's like, bro, imagine how much that would help lower our tax, income, or how much we have to tax people, or etc. Like that would really go towards our debt, in my opinion. So I think they're going to try and weave something in there as well to get rid of debt using the US dollar. And it's funny, all right, and then I'll end on this note. It's funny that the governments used to be afraid of stable coins and crypto and all this stuff, but literally it's the only thing that could possibly save the United States government from collapse, like monetarily speaking, is by us using these systems. So just like the irony is amazing. We'll just see how it plays out. So super stoked for the future, and it's been a great conversation, guys. So thank you all.
Yeah, Joe, I just wanted to add on to that too as we're wrapping up, fam. Bitcoin will save America. The national debt will be saved through crypto. That was always my vision as well, especially when Trump got back into office, right? I was thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, he's going to bring crypto back. He's totally going to bring crypto back. Dude, he's going to solve the financial crisis through Doge, right? Doge is going to save us millions upon millions, trillions dollars, right? Like Doge, right? And Doge is going to incorporate their token as well. No, I don't know that, fam. But what I do know is this has been a great show. I want to thank my host, my co-host here, Kimber, Joe. Also, speaker Save. Save may have to make you a regular as well, get you on the schedule or something if you keep showing up like this. But this has been an amazing, amazing space. I'd love to get last words with all the speakers and co-hosts here. We'll go to Kimber first, then Joe, then and with Save here and me as well. But Kimber, any last words before we get out of here, fam?
I hope everyone enjoys this fabulous Friday. Protect your bags, be smart, and have fun in the crypto space as always.
Hey, I like it.
Joe.
On that note, yeah, be safe, have fun, practice good wallet hygiene. Call in if you have any questions. Send us your voice messages, DM us your questions. We'd be happy to answer these on a future space. Like we said, we're going to be growing these week by week now. So it's been fun to see already how this has grown in such a short period of time. So really appreciate everybody who is tuning in. Thank you guys for everything y'all do. And thank you, Suave Kimber, as always, for jumping up here. Of course, we wouldn't be here without you. Banana, thank you for jumping up here earlier, showing some love. And there's one other gentleman earlier who jumped up here, but appreciate you guys, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe. Sav, anything before we get out of here, fam?
Yes, sir. Yes, I just throw it. I hop on stage. I'm a blockchain scouter, typical trader, crypto security analysis. I'm rocking the Ugly Duck PFP. As a custom 1 of 1. So if anybody ever want to come around, we can always introduce you to reward assets and etc. And like I said, thank you for just let me speak and talk.
Thank you, Sav. Really appreciate you, man. Also, fam, before I forget, before we get out of here, up on the Jumbotron is a YouTube link, and it's actually of all the crypto problems that we answered on the show today, fam. So take a look at that YouTube link I just posted about 7 minutes ago. Check that out. Also, we got a game show coming, fam. I just posted the video. I know, I'm excited too. It's called Crypto Curious. It's a Web3 game show. I'm gonna launch it next Friday. I haven't figured out the time yet, but I'm talking to my sister, actually, of all people, and she knows nothing about crypto, and so I think she's gonna be our first contestant. All right, so not gonna spoil the game show, but this is gonna be really exciting, fam. So tune into that. Max Engage, Crypto Curious Web3 game show coming to you next week. Every day we've got something different at Crypto Fam Radio, fam. So definitely plug in, follow everyone up here, fam. Max Engage, DM people, say hi. Make some friends, right? TGIF. Let's go, fam. We'll see you next week.
We've been addicted to marijuana, then to heroin. 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 Heroin.